Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, in this lesson I want to have a look at the states of the daughter. And as we've learned previously, the daughter is one for Zawil Furud, who receives a fixed share. So the daughter actually has three states. Um, if we draw this out, the first state is that she gets a half share of the inheritance, and the condition for this is when she's alone, one daughter alone. The second state is when receives 2/3. The daughters together receive 2/3, and this is when there are two or more. So when there are two or more, they each equally share 2/3. And the final state is when uh, they there's a 2-to-1 ratio. The daughter's getting 1 and the son's getting 2, and this is when she comes with the sons of X, i.e. her full brothers. So let's just go through each of these in turn. So the first state was where we have X who's passed away, and he leaves a bint, which is a daughter, and for example he may leave an who's an uncle. Now we know that the daughter, because she's alone, she'll receive 1/2 of the inheritance, and the other half will pass to the uncle who's part of the asabat in this situation, because there's no one closer, and he will receive the other half. So that's how it works. This is where there's one daughter alone. If we consider the situation, if there's two or more, again we have X, bint, this time we have two bints, and an an uncle, who the father's brother essentially. We've just learned that they share 2/3, and asaba, or the remainder, goes to the uncle, so 1/3. And this 2/3 is quite an important amount. This is based on a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said that the women would receive 2/3 as a maximum. So when you'll see this repeated with the granddaughters, when there's one, they receive a half, and when there's two plus or two or more, they all share 2/3. They'll never receive the whole amount unless there's some left over once you've given everything to the heirs, in which case they can get some more. But the usual case is that they'll receive 2/3 or half, depending on how many there are. And then the final case is where we have the person who's passed away, X, and he leaves bint, and he leaves a son, ibn. In this case, they come together and they're treated as asaba, because the son converts the daughter into a residuary beneficiary. Asaba is residue, so these two together become residuary beneficiaries, and they share in a 2-to-1 ratio. So if these were the only two surviving relatives, and they would get in a 2-to-1 share, and the son getting twice the share of the daughters. So when we're considering what the daughter gets, we always have to have a look to see if there's a son of the deceased, to work out what the daughter would receive. If we do another example, if we were to have say 3 daughters, and 2 sons. And again, they would be asaba, they would get the residue. But what we do is we treat the son as getting twice a share, so each son we treat as 2. So in total we would think about 4 shares for the sons and 3 shares for the daughters. So there's 7 shares in total, 7 shares, and 2 each for sons and 1 each for daughters. And as we move forward, we'll do some examples with other beneficiaries, and we can see how it all works out. But the 3 things to remember in this lesson are the states of the daughter. The first is when there's 1 daughter alone, and the second, in which case she would get half. The second was there 2 or more, in which case they would share 2/3. And the third case is where there are sons involved as well as daughters, in which case sons get twice the share of the daughters. And it's not a case that all the sons get twice the share of the daughters. So if in this case, we're not saying that these two sons get twice the share of these 3 sons. We're saying that each son gets twice the share of each daughter, and that's an important point to remember.